Oh, okay. Let's resume. Detective D. So, I'm about to do the third case. Technically second, but I'm counting the prologue as the first case. Magistrate D, I'm so glad to see you. As you've no doubt heard by now, it's happened again. Sometime between 2 and 3 hours ago, the lady of this house was brutally murdered while she was reading in the study. Go on. It's a horrible mess, just like what happened to Shu Lin Fei. It took me a moment to gather myself after I saw the body. It was like a flashback, except it wasn't. These two women, they've been murdered in the exact same way. What else have you found out? This place belongs to Lam Haifeng. The victim was his wife, a young woman named Shi Wenyan. Apparently, they've been married less than a month. The Lambs employ an elderly house steward and two servants, but all three live in a small adjacent residence south of the main compound. As far as we know, the three of them had completed their tasks for the day and had returned to their residence when the murder took place. The front gate was a rather flimsy lock which our killer seems to have picked without difficulty. Coroner Yao is in there examining the body now. He can tell you more about the crime scene. Did you speak to the husband? Only briefly. He seemed quite shaken, but he seems to have a solid alibi. He's in the study now, waiting to speak to you. Thank you, Lieutenant. You stay here and make sure no one goes in or out. Oh, wow. Lieutenant Ma was right. Her wounds match those found on Xu Lin Fei. There you are. I was wondering when you would join us. I hope you have had ample time to digest your last meal. I had to send Lieutenant Ma outside when his face started to turn pale. Thank you, Coroner Yao. I think I will manage. Good. It's not every day one sees this kind of brutality. This poor girl has been eviscerated and left exposed. As soon as we're done here, I'll have some constables take her back to the morgue. Of course. Let's make sure she's transported with care. Is the preliminary report ready? Yes, I've finished my initial examination. This girl might be dead, but she has still a lot to tell us. What can you tell me about the victim? She was in her early 20s, 24 according to her husband. Her sturdy build suggests that an active and healthy lifestyle. Yes, she does seem particularly fit and strong. Yes, just like Xu Lin Fei. In fact, the similarities between them struck me immediately. They share a remarkable combination of beauty and strength. If the same man is responsible for these two killings, I'd say he's choosing his targets rather deliberately. What can you tell me about the cause of death? All signs point to asphyxia. The killer most likely stood behind her and strangled her with some kind of rope or cloth, but alas, no signs of a struggle or the murder weapon. She was then cut open posthumously to facilitate the removal of her heart. I'd say she died no more than 3 hours ago. Are there any clues in the bloodstain patterns? I'm glad you asked. The blood patterns themselves offer no revelations, but they do suggest that our killer might be becoming more efficient. How so? Take a closer look. The large laceration in her chest has made her bleed profusely, which is to be expected, but unlike last time, killers left no bloody footprint behind. Lieutenant Ma won't get to practice his doodling skills this time. So our killer is honing his skills. Precisely. He must have used rags to manage the initial blood loss. Most of the blood you see here was likely discharged after he left the scene. Killer's left behind another rose. Looks like our killer has a taste of theatrics. But why a rose? It's a book on classical literature. Its interior pages have been torn up. There's an inscription. It reads, "To my dearest beloved, may your days be filled with lovely words and even lovelier thoughts. Hai Feng." Once again, the killer exploited a personal item belonging to the victim's closest relation, in this case, her husband. It's the same method he used to coerce Shu Linfei to surrendering him. Both young women were usually brave and selfless. Few could sacrifice themselves that way. Yet my intuition tells me something is amiss. Why did they act so passively in the face of such a threat? He was once a rising star among military elites. Why did he choose to give that up? Excuse me, Lam Hai Feng? Mr. Lam? Mr. Lam? Yes, I'm Lam Hai Feng. Are you alright? I'm Magistrate Di Renji. I am in charge of this inquiry. I apologize for my poor manners. My mind is a jumbled mess. There will be a time for grief. For now, you must gather yourself. I only have a few questions. Of course, please proceed. I want to help you in any way I can. I know time is of the essence. Tell me about yourself. Had you asked me that question on any other day, I could have given you an assured response. Son of a great general, was once a golden boy destined for greatness, or at least that's what I was told. But in my heart of hearts, I knew that life was not for me. I grew up with a sword in hand, but it was a lie. Could never fulfill my father's legacy. There is no dishonor in choosing your own path. I thought so as well. Yet here I stand, faced with utter ruin. My only love viciously taken from me. My life shattered into 1,000 pieces. Perhaps I deserve this fate for my filial betrayals. You must remain resolved. Resolute. Do you think the memory of your wife deserves to be tarnished by doubt? You are right. Wenyan gave me the 2 happiest months of my life. I will always cherish that. Tell me more about your wife, Wenyan. After my father died, I was lost and alone. I had no sense of purpose, no direction. Then I met Wenyan. She was a beacon of hope. She helped me see a new life, divorced from the military duties that had shackled me for so long. I had no wish to spend the rest of my days in one military barrack or after another. Fell in love with Wenyan, and she became the center of my world. And you married her only a short time later? Yes, we were married a few weeks after we met. I did not want to waste any more time. Wenyan also had a difficult life. We both wanted to start anew. What do you know about Wenyan's past? I think she was a bookkeeper for a time. She was an incredibly smart woman, but she struggled to find steady employment. An attractive and strong-minded woman like her is often seen as a threat. But that is what I loved so much about her, that spark, that intelligence. Her curiosity and thirst for knowledge was unquenchable. That's why she spent so much time in this room. She loved to sit and read for hours. Tell me more about your retirement from the Imperial forces. It was a clear repudiation of my father's wishes. But after his death, I could no longer continue the charade. I found peace in my new life, something I could never dream of before. What can you tell me about General Zhang? Zhang Chao is more reptile than man, if you ask me. He courted my father's backing on many occasions, hoping to consolidate power in the shadows. But my father resisted until the end. He knew a man like Zhang could not be trusted. Did Zhang attempt to contact you? Yes, more than once, but I had no patience for his odious nature, let alone his deplorable schemes. No, there was nothing for us to talk about. His advances were squarely rejected. As a matter of fact, I had to turn away one of his lackeys just this morning. What was the purpose of the visit? He came to remind me of some kind of special meeting taking place tonight, a gathering of so-called patriots assembled by Zhang himself. Apparently, an invitation was sent to my father before he died, but I had long ago lost interest in such political antics to pay any attention to it. The gathering is tonight. Do you know where your father put the invitation? No, I'm afraid not. Tell me what happened here. I had been out all afternoon. When I came home, the servants had already retired to their private residence. But I knew something was wrong when I saw that the front gate was unlocked. I noticed the light from this room and assumed Wenyan was reading, as she had the habit of doing on most evenings. But when I stepped inside, there she was, dead, defiled, and drenched in her own blood. Where were you this afternoon? I was at the tea house discussing business with two friends. You can speak to them if you wish. I told this to your lieutenant already. Other than those involved, who knew about your meeting at the tea house this afternoon? No one. I was meeting my friends to discuss a small business venture. I see no reason for anyone to take interest in such a routine affair. How often were you having these meetings? 3 times a week. My friends are busy merchants. We do our best to schedule the meetings ahead of time. But I still don't understand why this is relevant. It's precisely because these meetings were routine that they may be of relevance. Think of it. How did the killer know your wife would be alone? You're right. Someone knew my movements. How could I be so careless? Wenyan, what have I done? Does your wife have any enemies, people who would have wanted to harm her? My wife is a gentle and reserved person. She had no enemies. Then perhaps someone hurt her to get to you. I imagine a man in your position makes a few enemies along the way. But I've given all that up. I know my retirement ruffled some feathers, but my decision was met with more ridicule than resentment. Truth be told, most people were happy to see me walk away. Gave them one more vacant position to fight over. Did anyone take special interest in your decision? Now that you mention it, General Zhang did pay me a visit. He wanted me to reconsider. He said a new regime was on the horizon, that I could play a key role in it. Had I promised him my allegiance, my father's troops would have followed my lead. But I refused him on the spot. I told him to leave and never come back. Do you think Zhang might be responsible for this? My father had warned me about his intimidation tactics. Did I underestimate his depravity? If he is responsible, he will pay for his life. I swear he will. I apologize. I suppose retirement did little to snuff out the fighter in me. Please find her killer. Magistrate D, we are both in your hands. I noticed a rather odd feature in your water garden. A walkway seems to me missing? Can you tell me why? Oh, that walkway is an old remnant from my father's military heydays. It opens a passage to a secret war room. I hadn't used that room since he passed away, so I decided to keep the walkway closed. Perhaps it would be prudent for me to have a look. How is that walkway opened? Father would turn in his grave if he knew I let anyone else enter that room, but I suppose life is full of disappointments. Here's the lever that opens the walkway. You need to figure out how to open the entrance on your own, though. I've long forgotten the combination. Another one of the killer's notes. Why is he leaving a trail for us to follow? Is this some kind of game to him? To those who obey, let prey be mine. I have no sway, but death shall ally. Death shall ally? How many are in his sights? And a pair of strange symbols. Still no hint as to what they mean. Wake. Weichi? Is thrown for table for playing Weichi. It's customary for scholars, but to learn the intricacies of this board game from a young age, but I have to admit I'm a bit rusty. Weichi is played by placing black and white stones in the intersection of the board. Is it like Go? I see. So the combination must be the order of the stones. This must be a clue to finding the right combination for the Weichi board. Eternal ladder. Eternal... Must be symbols. Hi, Ina. No worries. I feel like this game will put you to sleep because it's very, very quiet. How are you doing though? And it's mostly just like, well, I say it's mostly just investigating, but we have a dead body right here that's very gruesome. Good thing it's being covered. Wasn't there a book about Weichi here? So there, saw it. Basic positions and tactics. Excuse me. Ladder breaker in the trap. Okay, so it's easier than I thought it. I thought the combination would be much more difficult. This is an interesting game because it's very pretty, but I feel like everything feels a little arbitrary. Oh, how was your vacation? I hope you had fun. But I understand, sometimes vacations get you more tired than actually going on it. Or like not going on it. This is what I'm trying to say. One, two. Excuse me. One, two, 3, 4, 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be like this. And then ladder set. Daming lakad. You would average 15 capes. Ooh, that sounds fun though. I hope you wear sensible shoes. It's a bit dark in here. Is this gonna be important though? Is this all a red herring? That's better. There's a veritable fountain of knowledge down here. Okay. I thought you were gonna tell me how, but apparently not. The Lam clan produced generations of warriors. No wonder Lam Haifeng struggled for so long to find his own way. Nice. At least he got nice sneakers. His aged mace bears the dents and cracks of decades of combat. Invitation? This must be the invitation Lam Haifeng spoke about. The Alliance needs you. Where? The East Pier, aboard the Paradise Cloud. When? The next time our messenger visits you. Is that it? Is that all we get from here? Yes. Also, now what? I will give the game that it's very pretty. Art is very pretty. But everything just feels a little... Maybe if they had promoted it more to be like a visual novel, I would have expected something different. But they kind of promoted this to be like a detective game, so I expected like detective game stuff, but it's not. Oh, maybe. Oh, okay. We should go to the East Pier. Also, holy heck, how long would it take just to build this giant moat? That is far away from where we are. Maui. The lanterns have dotted the waterway with surreal golden hue. Also, what are the chances, Ian, that he came from China and then I'm playing a game set in really, really old China? I think the setting of this is like 689 AD. She seems heartbroken. My first priority should be to board the Paradise Cloud. And how do I do that? It must be the Paradise Cloud. Just as I suspected, it's a flower boat. I suppose there's no better way to win over men of weak moral fiber than to seduce them with lavish feasts and beautiful companions. Unfortunately, the ship's no longer docked. I need to find another way to reach it. You could probably jump that. I would try. Emphasis on try. The game summoned you. If there were to be like a pentagram to summon you, what like 5 objects do you have to be placed on each of the spokes of the star in order for you to be summoned? He seems entirely focused on his fishing. Xiang Ren. Excuse me, sir, may I trouble you for a moment? Quiet down, you're startling my catch. Can't you see I'm fishing here? Pardon the intrusion, but I assure you this is an important matter. Important? What could be more important than man and fish locked in the primal battle for supremacy? If you insist on an answer, I would say that a district magistrate investigating a murder would count as being more important. What? Oh, I didn't mean to be rude. I get a bit obsessive about this hobby of mine. Who did you say you were? I'm D. Renji, Magistrate of Chang'an. I hope you'll forgive me, Magistrate D. Like I said, I tend to take this pastime a bit too seriously. What can I help you with? Kinda reminds you of my art style? Well, maybe because, it's also pixel like, what do you call that? A weekend trip. I would say we kind of went the similar route wherein it looks like they also painted stuff first and then added the shadows later. Books, cats, Kingdom Hearts, Pietro, Animal Crossing teacher. I like that the hardest thing there would be Pietro. Tell me about yourself. Do you come out often to fish at this hour? I'm a retired professor of history. My name is Xian Ran. I've always loved to fish, but my job occupied most of my time, so when I retired, I promised myself I would spend more time doing the things I like to do. Sana all. But the pier gets a bit rowdy during the day, so I enjoy coming out at night when the waters are calm and all you can hear is the occasional laughter coming from the flower boat. Being here all alone, that's when I truly lose myself. There's nothing like the primal feeling of the life and death struggle between man and fish. Ah, good one, young magistrate. What do you know about the flower boat? That's the Paradise Cloud. If you want to see most beautiful courtesans in Chang'an sing and dance the night away, that's the place to be. You know, I feel like sometimes I think about what if I were in like a medieval or like just a setting where there's like a palace and kings and guards. I feel like I would be a concubine of some kind. Anyway, but alas, a lowly commoner like me could hardly dream of stepping foot in such a palace. Besides, rubbing elbows with aristocrats isn't exactly my idea of a good night out. Aristocrats? Yeah, I've seen them. It's I was like, what? High society types, you know? Powerful officials, rich merchants, foreign dignitaries. They file in at dusk and don't come out until dawn. And you saw them embark tonight? Yes, a quiet bunch, almost sneaky if you ask me. Is this your boat? This old thing? Been with me since, actually, I don't really remember. Not much to look at, I know, but it does the job. Then perhaps it can be of special service tonight. I need a ride. I have to board that flower boat. That flower boat? I'm afraid I can't help you with that. No sirree, out of the question. It's barely 20 meters away. This is a serious police matter. Police business or not, my boat won't be leaving this pier tonight. And if you must know why, I'll tell you why. The dead own the waters tonight. The dead? I don't follow. You see that woman on the north side of the pier? The one who's been releasing water lanterns into the river all night? Well, as far as I could gather, she's mourning the loss of her sister. Those lanterns are meant to guide the souls of the departed to the spirit world. Not the court jester. Not the chismosa handy. I'll be the one. No, we'll be like a... What do you call that? We'll be like a spy thing. I'll be the one messing with the king or the queen, with whoever wants me. I'll give you the information and you sell it off and we get rich. You understand now? I may not be a superstitious man, but I know enough not to tempt fate, much less a grieving woman. But surely an educated man like yourself doesn't believe in ghosts. Education has nothing to do with it. If you're foolish enough to go out there and disturb the dead, by all means be my guest. But I won't risk myself or my boat becoming haunted by an angry ghost. So we have to help the lady? Or stop her from the water lantern? Is that what you understand? We're supposed to be doing too. Reconnaissance, correct. These beautiful lanterns have given the waterway a surreal glow. Pardon me, may I have a word with you? I recognize that wing cap. Are you an officer of some kind? I've done nothing wrong. I am Magistrate D. Renji. I'm not here to arrest you. Good, then please leave me alone. I need to go back to my ceremony. Okay. Hi, Anissa. Not the Mulan. Ancestors, hear my plea. No. Not until you've answered a few questions. Fine. What is it you want? There's no Hans here, though. How are you doing, Anissa? Tell me more about yourself. What are you doing here? My name is Mao Yi. I'm here because of my sister. She needs me. Your sister? Is her name Mao Wei? Oh, how do you know that, Renji? Yes, how did you know that? Exactly my question. The envelopes you're holding in your arms so intently, they have her name on. Oh, he can read, guys. Oh yes, these are the letters she sent me before she died. My dearest sister. She's the only one who ever understood me. She was younger than me, but she took care of me like she was my big sister. She was always so wise, so giving. Not the wanker. Why didn't you just make it witty wanker? Anyway. Are these ceremonial water lanterns? Yes, people say they can guide lost souls to the spirit world where they belong. I need to help my sister find peace. I know she's out there somewhere. I can feel it. I don't want her to wander the world of the living with no place to go. Or just wasn't I'm sure we have already said TT wanker at one point. Tell me about your sister. What happened to her? After marrying last spring, my sister moved to the neighboring city of Luoyang with her husband. She wrote me a letter almost every week. At first, they seemed happy, but then came the news that her husband had been in an accident. A heavy stone had fallen. I'm sorry. Why does this sound so funny? It's supposed to be sad. A heavy stone had fallen on him, crushing the right side of his body. I'm sorry, that sounds so funny. Most of his injuries healed, but his arm was permanently paralyzed. Stone Mason with a lame right hand. Okay, that's very sad. Can you imagine? And that girl just... Yes, not the legend Barak. They fell on hard times. That's when her husband, despite my sister's process, decided to take their savings and try his luck in the gambling dens. Oh god. That fool threw away all they had left, but not only that, each time his pockets emptied, he borrowed from loan sharks to refill them. But the loan sharks didn't forget his debt. No, they didn't. Those ruffians have no conscience. They went to my sister's house and demanded payment. When her husband resisted, they beat him to death. After that, they made her responsible for the money he owed. They gave her 3 days to make payment, or else. That's when the letter stopped. And you believe your sister met the same fate as her husband did? I would have heard news from her, otherwise I'm sure of it. That doesn't sound like your sister's dead, though. I know my sister, she wouldn't have stopped writing to me unless something happened. Tell me more about your sister's letters. Like I mentioned before, she sent me a letter every week without fail. I wrote such lovely letters too. She shared with me everything that was happening in her life, just like when we were young, and we would talk all night. May I see the letters? I promise to return them straight away. Alright, but please be careful with them. Oh, you should just tell him when he's streaming. He should stream as Bad Girl Jer 69 again. I like that you're demanding it though, Anissa. Calling it out. All I want to know is from Sister Rest in Peace. I miss you guys not bitching. We should just let us know we could play board games again. Or like Jackbox. Or we could play online Jackbox. Just let me know. Or you can come here to my house. We can play here. Most of these letters date back to before the financial troubles and hold little interest. I'm technically the middle, if you think about it. Technically, but not really. Yung malayo si Anissa, so kailangan siya mag-adjust. My dear sister, not a moment goes by that I don't regret leaving our family home. Oh, I will say, Anissa, because of the LRT reaching Sukat, it's easier to come to me now. Because it's just one LRT ride and one jeepney ride away. Like, that's Like, it's much easier, honestly. Yeah, apparently I'm in the north, even though I'm southern than most north areas. Well, ikaw, Ina, I would say you're more towards there now. But I would still say you're middle. This one last one's quite interesting. The envelope came with a curious note written in it. No, of Metro Manila, not in a general sense. Oh, okay. I mean, you can keep saying that, but it could still not be true. that that's not necessarily an identifier. That just makes you south. And the reason why it's middle, because the fact that you need a separate toll gate in order to get to the north, that's to indicate that everything here is in the middle. It's north of you, yes. But that's still middle. That's still, like, I would consider that middle. Like, anything that's like Ortigas to Mandaluyong is middle. San Juan, Ortigas, Pasig, Mandaluyong is all middle. No, that's already south, Anissa. Makati and VGC is south. Again, why are we talking about this again? We know you're not gonna budge. What's the point? What the hell? I have to find out what their mother and father's birthdays are? This note on the envelope suggests that this letter is more than meets the eye. And a moment goes by that I don't regret leaving our family home for the sorry existence in my house or stand for my eyes of cancer's tragedy. Now they want me to set us dead for 3 days. I have to ask more questions. I used to be a Northie. You live both of these. Well, what do you call Valenzuela then, if not just north? Because if you're saying that everything above Makati and BGC is north, then that would make Valenzuela like super north. But that's not necessarily true. It's just north. It's not like north of north. On the back of this envelope, your sister wrote a date. Oh my god, this conversation is so boring. I'm figuring out the minutes. Your father's birthday is on the 9th day of the 11th month. Ooh, 9/11. And then your mother's birthday is on the 4th day of the 1st month. You can say that about everything. Well, let's be honest, the real center is Rizal Park because that's where the 0-kilometer marker is. If we want to be really real about the center, because that's where all roads lead to anyways. Remove you and you. And 4 are left. These 4. So 9, 11, 4, and 1. 9. Doesn't make sense. You were living in proper north. Okay. In the not south. What's the American version? All roads lead to Cuba. Isn't it all roads lead to Rome? Well, that's not necessarily American, but that's where everything comes from. All those idioms. So confused. Not in everyone's minds, though. Let's be honest. It's not always hell. Could be this, but it could also be. I don't understand what the game wants me to do. Could also be. Did you say abolish as if there's a way to do that? Nar! Anissa, please. Regret. Battered. Hey. I thought that would be it. I just tried my best. I need to mess it up here. Oh, maybe I should do it in Mother's birthday first. So goes my the I'm gonna try that. I don't understand what should be the order. I'll try this one. Not Not dead. Hiding east. Oh, that's it. Okay, fine. Sige nga. Sing it. Say it, Anissa. Send a voice recording. Not dead. Hiding east. My sister's alive. How clumsy of me. The truth was under my nose this whole time. Thank you, Magistrate D. You've released me from a false burden. My sister's soul does not wander in the night as I had feared. These lanterns guide no one. Now they will serve only as a reminder that my sister still lives. I'm glad to see you so relieved. Here are your letters. Before I go, I'd like to ask a small favor of you. There is a fisherman sitting on his boat on the other side of the pier. He's afraid to venture into the water. Oh dear. My ritual. He must have been frightened by it. Indeed, if he speaks to you tonight, will you tell him your story, the truth about your sister and her letter? Yes, of course. That is a promise. You're shy. You're not ebbing. Yan ka naman. Lagi nila. I don't know what else to say to that, Anissa. Kung ayaw mo, edi wag. Okay, let's finally get on that fucking flower boat. Dami no kasi ano, well, I sure hope your lady friend is all worth the trouble. This is what you think. No need to explain, I was a young man once. Now off you go, I've got my own prey to return to. Excuse me, old man, I'm not a pervert. Wow, this is very pretty. This is a huge boat, what the hell? I need to find General Zhang. Excuse me. Oh, good evening, sir. Can I offer you a drink? This is the finest rice wine money can buy. No wine for me. I'm only here to speak to General Zhang. Have you seen him? I'm sorry, General who? I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. You seem distracted. Something wrong? No, sir. It's just that I had the worst spot of bad luck today. The absolute worst. This afternoon, as I was getting ready for work, I noticed that my uniform was missing. I turned my house upside down looking for it, but it was nowhere to be found. When I told Madame Ling, she said that she could find another one for me, but I had to pay for the replacement. You have an idea how much one of these things costs? 1 month's salary, that's what. I suppose that's why I've been so distracted. I just can't stop thinking about that stupid uniform. And you know what's worse? This replacement is one size too small for me. Keeps riding up in the wrong places. I don't need to know that, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. What was that conversation? Upper deck, says the courtesan. You bring honor to us all. Oh, we can go inside the rooms. No time to snoop around. Is this Madame Ling? Or is this another courtesan? She refuses? I'm sorry, General, but your buyout offer from Yan Chi was more than generous, but the girl doesn't know what's good for her. Give it some time, I can convince her. Sir, I'm General Zhang Chao, commander of the Eastern Fleet. What manner of persuasion does she require? You have to understand, Chi has come to me only 2 months ago. I accepted her into this house because of her singular beauty, and she carries a dark past. Oh my god. She chosen a life of excess and luxury to bury that darkness. Why bother with such a damaged flower? If the general desires a concubine, I have many younger, more willing flowers than... No, that will not do. It is precisely because of Chi-Chi's maturity that I seek her company. I understand. Leave it to me, General. Speak to her again. So we have to disguise ourselves as a concubine, and then we can just talk to her. General Zhang Chan. Yes, who are you? My name's Di Renji. I am Her Majesty's newly appointed Magistrate of Jiangnan. I see. Quite the resourceful Inquisitor, aren't you? It seems you managed to invite yourself to our little private meeting. Are you here to arrest me? Only if I have cause to do so. But I assume that such a gathering outside of Imperial walls must make the Empress anxious. But in our defense, you should know that we assemble only to raise questions, not to rebel. You do not intend to overthrow her. I see you've succumbed to the rumors that have been circulating about me. And yet you ignore the murmurs surrounding our new Empress. By now, you've no doubt heard the stories about clandestine police forces and brutal retaliations. If Her Majesty intends to bend and break the rule of law to further her own agenda, her subjects will not stand for it. And neither will we. Do you have proof of this alleged abuse of power, or the so-called secret police force, or are your allegations based on nothing more than a rumor? Tell me, young magistrate, did you come here to seek the truth or to listen to fairy tales? You don't have to answer that. I can see there is doubt in your eyes. You've come this far. Don't close your eyes now. Find the truth yourself. As for me, let me set the record straight. My goal and that of the other patriots gathered here is simply to stand as a check against Her Majesty's absolute power. And how did you intend to do that? By taking innocent lives and desecrating royal monuments? Don't be foolish. We do not manufacture crisis. We want accountability, not bloodshed. Certainly there are those who want Her Majesty ousted at any cost, but we have no dealings with those factions. If the Empress ever left a protective cocoon that is the royal palace, she would perhaps better understand the concerns of her royal servants. Yet a trail of blood and murder has led me directly to you, General Zhang. Just hours ago, the wife of Lam Haifeng, the very man you've harassed for months, was found murdered. How do you explain that? Haifeng's wife murdered? I did not know. And you think I'm somehow involved in her death? Listen to me carefully, Magistrate D. I will not repeat myself on this matter. I would never... Who? Someone screaming? Did you hear that? I think it came from the dining room. General, wait. You stay here. I will have a look. Oh no. Is it Madame Ling? Oh. She seems fine. Stop there. Who are you? Pardon the intrusion. I am investigating magistrate. My name is Di Renji. I don't understand. How did you get here so fast? I'm on board the Paradise Cloud investigating a case. I was in the hallway just now when I heard a scream. That was me. I was so frightened. What happened? It's Yan Chi-Chi. I don't know exactly what happened. I was with her just now. No! Is she dead? She said she felt nauseous and needed some fresh air, so she came here to use the balcony. She wanted to be alone, so I made sure she wasn't disturbed. But when I came back to check on her... Heavens, all that blood! Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, oh no, oh no, this changes everything. Another one? The killer is speeding up, and on this ship with all these people. Why take such a risk? I have to think, clear my mind of all distractions. Yes, I need to start by gaining control of the situation. This boat needs to be secured. Madam, we need to speak. I'm sorry. What did you say? Wait, did you say you were to investigate another case? What exactly were you talking about? I can't give you any details, but suffice it to say that another woman had been victimized in a similar way. And they led you here? You believe they are connected to Chi-Chi's death? But perhaps. But enough conjecture. Tell me about yourself. Do you own this establishment? Yes, I've been running the Paradise Cloud since my days as the Queen Flower. Whoa, Queen Flower. But those days are long gone. Nowadays I am only known as Madame Ling. I have seen my fair share of cruelty and violence, but this is pure evil. How does one commit such a despicable act? Tell me about Yuan. Chichi, how did she come to work here? She was my newest girl, and although I don't make a habit of taking in 22-year-olds with no experience or references, I knew when I met her that she was special. She was so smart as a whip and possessed a rugged beauty. In less than 2 months, she had become one of my most popular girls. Even General Zhang couldn't resist her charms. She's been with you only 2 months. Do you know what she was doing before she came to you? Most of my girls have long histories of tragedy and disappointment, but I never made it a habit to pry. Chichi was no different. I gathered she came from difficult circumstances, but I could see strength in her. She was no wilting flower. What can you tell me about General Zhang? I've known Zhang Chao for many years. Long before he became a general. He talks tough, but deep down he's just as needy as the rest of us. Heavens, I don't know how he will take this. He was fond of you, Chichi? You're quite well informed, yes. He fell for her completely. It was unexpected, but I could see that it was genuine. I suppose it was just a matter of time until he offered to redeem her. I didn't even think it would happen so fast. But Chichi's rejection was just swift. Unlike many of the girls here, she never desired the life of a concubine. She was a free, untamable creature. Tell me about this banquet. General Zhang had been planning tonight's gathering for many months. A special banquet for his most powerful friends. Did you notice anything unusual? No, I don't recall any incidents. Wait, I don't know if this is of any consequence, but during our preparations earlier this evening, the wine waiter came to me complaining that he had lost his uniform. Lucky for him, we have spare outfits in storage, otherwise I would have demanded more than just a month's pay. Are all the guests accounted for? Yes, we checked invitations carefully. Everyone on the guest list is on board. We asked for them to stay in the reception hall until the dinner is ready. You don't think one of the guests did this, did you? No, it's unlikely the high-profile individuals attending this party would expose themselves in such a way. Tell me about the Paradise Cloud. How many people work here? The Paradise Cloud is the most exclusive flower boat in the city. It isn't uncommon for us to play host banquets such as this. For tonight, the entire team is on hand. That's 3 courtesans, a service staff of 5, and a small boat crew that works below deck. Who has access to the upper floors? Only myself, the courtesans, and a single wine waiter. We're very strict about who gets to come upstairs. After all, it wouldn't be appropriate for the kitchen staff or the boat crew to mingle with the guests. You must return to the reception hall, but you cannot let anyone know what happened. But won't people start to suspect something? Not if you play it right. All I need for you is to buy me some time and make sure no one leaves the ship. Can you do that? Yes, I think I can manage. I also need you to ask your most senior staff member to go to the Justice Department and alert someone of what's happening here. Constables will be on their way, but until they arrive, I'm counting on you to keep things quiet so that I can start collecting evidence undisturbed. Have everyone gather on the main deck. No one is to enter the second floor. But what about General Zhang? Tell him to come in, but say nothing else. I will take care of the rest. Madam Lin says, yeah, Yuan Chichi started working for her less than 2 months ago. That's around the same time Lam Haifeng met Shi Weinian. And Shu Lin Fei, she also returned to live with her father about 2 months ago. Can't just be a coincidence. 3 women seemingly unconnected, yet this thread links them together. Did they know each other? What were they doing before they came back? Interesting, interesting. What's going on here? Why was Madame Ling so agitated? What happened? Is that... Chichi, no. Who did this? Why is she... General, please remain calm. Madame Ling just discovered the body. We don't know anything yet, but answers will come. For now, it is you I need answers from. Did you notice any suspicious activity tonight? Besides your unannounced arrival? No, and I saw and heard nothing suspicious. Before we were interrupted, you were about to tell me something about Lam Haifeng. What was it? I know who you work for, therefore I know what you think of me, but the Empress and her trusted commander have mistaken me for a common thug. I would never hurt Lam Haifeng or his family. His father and I fought side by side more times than I can count. He was a brother in arms, but also a dear friend. Did I try to coax him and his son to support my cause? Absolutely. Was I upset that Haifeng did not take up his father's mantle? Guilty as charged. But this business about me involved in his wife's death? It's absolute lunacy. If the Lam family means that much to you, then why intimidate Lam Haifeng? Did you not send someone to his house tonight? Yes, but only to convince him to reconsider his retirement and to join our ranks. He chooses to ignore it, but he has destiny to fulfill. Tradition should not be forsaken. That stubborn young man should have followed in his father's footsteps, but instead he chose to embrace an inconsequential woman. But despite my disdain for his choices, he is still my godson. I would never put his well-being at risk. Lam Haifeng is your godson. Yes, and despite his constant rejection of my guidance, I will always see him as the son I never had. What was the nature of your relationship with Yuan, Qiqi? I still remember the first time Madeline introduced me to Qiqi. I saw raw beauty, intellect, and strength. She was a goddess amongst mortals. That's why I asked to redeem her. Redeem? I don't like that word. I suppose the news was bound to come out sooner or later, yes. I had designs of buying her out and marrying her, but all that is but dust in the wind now. Promise me you will find her killer, Di Renji. You must be close if you followed his trail all the way here. You must find him. What do you know about Madame Ling and her staff? Madame Ling and I have known each other for a very long time. She hosts the best banquets in the realm, and her courtesans, they are peerless. I just realized that's not a window. That's a banner. Anyway, I believe these meetings to be secured. We checked everything, the staff, the guests, even the boat itself, but evidently I was a fool. Do you know all the guests personally? Can you think of anyone with a motive to do this? What would one of those powerful men have to gain by killing a lowly courtesan? On the contrary, they would have everything to lose. Besides, Qiqi has only been working for Madame Ling a couple of months. I doubt any of these guests have even met her. Thank you, General. More constables will arrive on the scene shortly. In the meantime, all I ask is that you let me do my job. For your own sake, I hope that you know what you're doing, Dee. At every turn, he has been one step ahead of me, but I sense that he wants me close behind. A see-through glass bowl? Okay. There are ligature marks around her neck, but they are dispersed up and down her throat. Shi Wenyan and Shu Linfei both surrendered to the killing. It appears Yuan Qiqi attempted to resist, and the force of her struggle created multiple abrasions. Once again, the killer had removed his victim's heart, but this time he seems to have acted hastily. This wound shows signs of imprecision and tearing. What caused him to lose focus? In her right hand, she's still holding on to something. It's a hairpin. Its tip stained with blood. Nothing of note here. Unlike the other women, Yuan Qiqi chose to fight for her life. Her hairpin may have also wounded her assailant, causing him to rush through his murderous ritual. But what makes Qiqi different from the other two? The trail of blood starts at the doorway of the balcony, but its shape and pattern is distinctly different from the pool of blood surrounding Yuan Qiqi. There's no doubt about it. Yuan Qiqi was able to stab her assailant with her hairpin while he was strangling her, though it was not enough to stop him, causing him to lose a considerable amount of blood. Ooh, a breakthrough. Where did we get this glass bowl? So once again, until the boat Chris finishes repairs, please remain on the main deck. I promise the banquet will be worth the wait. Into good water. Oh. My distant admirer, your prize is in the Green Lantern under the stars. Oh, I saw that. I saw that Green Lantern. It's at the balcony. There's a small piece of paper lodged at the bottom of the lantern. The shroud of power hides an evil beneath this. Beneath, descend from thy tower, an empress in defeat. The empress? Is she the next target? I have to warn her. The empress is in danger. I have to go to the royal palace at once. Wait, something's wrong. I feel dizzy. Oh no! D. Must be the candle smoke. Well, shit. Not the deer again. The great detective asleep on the job, outplayed by a murderous degenerate. What about the innocents? You would leave them on the field, dead and deserted? The song is for you. Answer the call. Answer it. Oh, I don't like that. Someone just said, psst. You abandoned me. I was in limbo, afraid and alone. Now still I cannot rest. A truth is staring at you from atop the clouds, from within the gold gates, yet you see nothing. Do not turn away now. Save the rose that counts. Do not rest until it is done. Time to wake up, D. Renji. Go on. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. Wake up, we want to. Wake up. Why won't you wake up? Come on, sir, you can do it. Wake up, Magistrate D. Thank God General Zhang was there. My God. Oh no, um, it's Ma. Lieutenant Ma. Magistrate D, wake up, wake up. Yes, that's it. Take your time. I'm so glad you're alright, Magistrate D. You had me worried for a moment. The candle inside the Green Lantern must have been laced with some kind of poison. I should have been more cautious. After the messenger you sent came to the Justice Department, I made my way as quickly as could. Luckily, you must have just passed out when I arrived. When I saw the lantern next to you spewing that thick black smoke, I immediately threw it overboard. Thank you, Lieutenant Ma. You may have saved my life. But now you must carry on here without me. I don't understand. The Empress is in danger. The killer means to target her next. The Empress? But she's heavily guarded at all times. Unless she was to come out in the open, she's untouchable. All I know is that the killer had been one step ahead of all of us all along. I must warn the Empress that her life is in real jeopardy, however unlikely that may be. It came just in time. The Empress wanted to say a few prayers before retiring to her quarters. Your Majesty, I bring news from my investigation. Are you a religious man, D. Renji? I suppose we all search for enlightenment in our own ways, Your Majesty. This temple. It means a great deal to me. Naturally, it upset me deeply when I heard that rebels had vandalized it. It is the one place where I feel safe, unburdened by the outside world. But now even this place has become a battleground. All my life I've known what I wanted. I made one sacrifice after another to see my plans come to fruition. Yet for the first time, my path had become uncertain. I find myself questioning things I once took for granted. What does it mean to hold the mandate of heaven? What good is it to hold such power if those being ruled are blinded by lies and hatred? The hour is late, D. Renji. What news do you bring me? I'm sorry to intrude at this hour, Your Highness, but the discoveries I made tonight require immediate attention. 2 more women are dead. The first, Shi Wenyan, was killed at her home earlier this evening. Then only hours later, a woman in Yan Chichi was killed on the flower boat, the Paradise Cloud. I have no doubt they both fell prey to the same man who killed Xu Linfei, but I'm afraid the series of murders is leading to something bigger. Go on, tell me everything you know. At first, General Zhang Chao's connections to Shi Wenyan and Yan Chichi raised alarming questions. As my inquiry deepened, I found unexpected ties between him, Lam Haifeng, and each of these 2 women. But ultimately, what I learned dispelled any truth to the notion that he would have harmed them. The reason for that is... Oh, I needed to answer all of it. Hi, Chad. Yes, Detective D. We don't know. He might be packing under that cloak. Tunic? I don't even know how to describe that. As your godfather, I forbid you to resign from your brother's marriage. Wait, it would be my wife. I have no hypocrite. I have no infatuated courtesan. Very well. It is your future to which you willfully throw away. Despite his public rhetoric and chest beating, General Zhang was never a real threat. As was the case with most things he opposed, his objections were merely theatrical. Although his identity still eludes us, one thing is certain: the man behind these crimes is as cruel as he is cunning. Both Xu Linfei and Shi Wenyan experienced his cruelty firsthand when they were forced to obey his commands, but unlike those 2, he knew Yuan Chichi would not surrender willingly. His usual methods had to be replaced by a more direct approach. This because she had no loved ones. By using the threat of harm to a loved one, the killer gained obedience from his first two victims. But without someone to threaten, he had no leverage over Yuan Chichi. Although she was eventually overcome by a surprise attack, the killer quickly learned that she was no docile prey. Stab! Ow! My god. Give you a jingle that you'd hear from the government agency to notify it's your turn on the couch to signify you picked the right choice. What? That's a noise in the government agencies that you go to. Killer had been one step ahead of us since the beginning. Like capturing pieces on a chessboard, who he strikes next is a calculated move. That's not a chessboard. His three victims came from different backgrounds, lived different lives, and knew different people. The question is, if you cannot know what connects them to the killer, perhaps we can find what connects them to each other. And finally, common thread materialized. The most important connection between the three women is their long absence and return. It struck me that all three women had made a return from long absences around the same time. Did they know each other? What were they doing before they came back? I believe that I can find out where they were and what they were doing prior to resurfacing 2 months ago. The killer will be within reach. Okay. It sounds like it. We must act fast, Your Majesty. If tonight's events have convinced me of anything, it is that he is rapidly ratcheting up the stakes. Raising the stakes? How? His greater purpose has come into focus, Your Majesty. I believe he means to kill you next. Are you quite sure of that? I'm afraid so. I do not know how or when it will happen, but I do know Your Majesty's life is in danger. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Di Renji, but from this point forward, I ask that you leave the rest to me. You are no longer to investigate this case. Commander Yao will visit the Justice Department to gather all the evidence you collected. Wait, I don't understand. I'm closing in on him. If I back off now, the trail will be lost. No. In the morning, you will forget that this case ever existed. You will not speak of it, and you will certainly not make any further inquiries into the matter. Is that understood? Why are you doing this? Does Your Majesty expect this loyal servant to ignore his own duties? There must be a reason. Tread carefully, Di Renji. Ah! Where did they come from? Those women will not be forgotten. How dare you question my authority? You will do as I say or face the consequences. As for my safety, you clearly have nothing to fear. Now go, before I change my mind. Were they just in the rafters? Okay, chapter 3. I still can't believe what happened last night. Why would the Empress end my involvement in the case? And how could she brush aside my warnings like that? By now, her men will have seized all the evidence we've collected on the case, but I can't give up now. I have to see this through the end. Oh, I just realized now that they're trying to make it sound like a noir story. With the dialogue and how he's revealing the cases and how he talks to himself. I love that no one cleaned that brick up. Still like that. Majesty D, there you are. Have you heard? What? The Emperor sent our Imperial Guards in the middle of the night to confiscate all the evidence we had on the 3 unsolved murders. The notes, the roses, even the bodies. They took everything and ordered us to stand down. Why is Her Majesty doing this? Knowingly or unknowingly, it seems the Empress is somehow connected to all this. We need to find out how. But our orders were supposed to stop the investigation. I can't stop now. There's too much at stake. I'll perform my duties and face the consequences. Come what may, justice will prevail. I'm with you, Magistrate D. You're a good man, Lieutenant Ma. I'm grateful to have you on my side, but we need to work discreetly. Of course, sir. You can rely on me. Actually, there's been something I've been meaning to tell you. When the Imperial Guards come to take the evidence, they sort of left something behind. Or to be more accurate, I kept something from them. What do you mean? You see, when we finished gathering all the evidence of the flower boat last night, I had the sudden urge to make copies of the killer's unknown markings. You mean the pair of strange symbols on each of the notes he left behind? Yes, exactly. At first I wasn't sure why, but those symbols somehow seemed familiar. Then it occurred to me. When I was a boy, my grandmother once showed me a poem that she had written as a young woman. As she read it to me, I stared at the wrinkled piece of paper in her hands with a confused expression. The characters I saw were nothing like those I have learned in school. My grandmother passed away that winter. Regrettably, I never had the chance to ask her about the origin of those mysterious symbols, nor did I ever see that poem again. I know this may sound strange, but the symbol in the killer's notes, they remind me of the symbols in my grandmother's poem. Here, you can have the copies I made. That's very interesting. Tell me more about your grandmother. My grandmother grew up in a small rural town in the province of Jiangnan. Although she endured a hard country life, she always had a delightful sense of humor that could light up a room. And despite her rural upbringing, she was able to write poetry. I suppose that's a bit strange, isn't it? I never really questioned it, but I suppose she must have picked up some language skills as an adult. She was a very smart woman. Wouldn't be surprised if she learned to read and write on her own. What are your thoughts on the case? I'm at a loss, sir. On the one hand, we are tasked to apprehend the savage killer. On the other, we are subservient to the whims of the Imperial Court. Where is the line that separates loyalty and blind servitude? How can we walk it and still serve the cause of justice? Get rid of the doubt in your mind, you may see the goals with more clarity. All of us are held accountable for the power we wield. Even the highest ranked among us are not immune, not from the will of the people. Thank you, Magistrate D. For a moment there I thought life as a lowly official in the countryside may have suited me better, but you've given me a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. Well, isn't it our favorite academician, D. Renji? Look at his cap, you imbecile. That's the magistrate you're addressing. I knew that. I was just reminiscing with our friend about the good old days. It seems you've done well for yourself since our days as a studious imperial scholar, young magistrate. As my father would say, luck favors the prepared. And prepare you did. I remember you spending all those long nights studying away in the lonely corners of this library. You were a true bookworm. Those are fond memories. Well then, it was nice to see you again, dear Renji, or should I say, Your Excellency. But now, if you excuse us, we have some pressing business to attend to. But I see you later. Oh. Actually, I was hoping you could help me find a book on the subject of lost or secret writing systems. We've been stuck on it all morning. It's so infuriating. A challenge? Our colleague from the Ministry of Public Works came by this morning to issue a challenge. Yeah, real pompous know-it-all, that Bo May. You see, we've got a sort of friendly competition going in between the ministries. Every week we take turns challenging each other to different intellectual exercises. This week it was Bo's turn to come up with a challenge, and boy did he ever! We've been racking our brains on this one all morning. So you see, we'd love to help you, but our reputations are on the line. Besides, our minds are just too preoccupied at the moment. Someone might die, and all you care... In that case, perhaps I can offer you some assistance. Will you help me if I can solve the challenge? I suppose that would be acceptable. Why not? Dear Renji spent so much time in here, he's practically one of us. It's settled then. Let me help you and you'll be free to help me. Bomei gave us 2 riddles, each one revealing a single word. He said that the title of one of the books in this room contains both words. That's right. All we have to do is solve the 2 riddles and we'll know the name of the book. He said that the correct book has a signed bookmark inside it. We retrieve the bookmark and we win the challenge. I once stood for more, but the flames ripped through and through. Now I am but a pile. Do you wish to say I miss you? I am in the air, I am everywhere. If you let me be, then you might just see me. If you push me away, I'll go but return someday. What the fuck? Oh. I was thinking about Ash. I'm gonna write this down. Then I'm gonna listen to the clues again. Probably Tyne is the other one. Push me away. Tree. Ash, love, death, life, blood, enemy, dust. Could be dust. Change. Fire. Friend. Smoke. Luck. Wind. Wind could be one. How do we escape? We get out. I once stood for more, but the flames ripped through and through. Now by the pan. You wish to say I miss you. That's Ash, but like it also doesn't make sense. What does the I miss you mean? I'm in the air, I am everywhere. If you let me be, you might just see me. If you let me be, then you just push me away. I'll go but return someday. If you let me be, you might just see me. If you push me away, I will go but return someday. Could be cloud. But I think wind is the more correct. I once stood for more, but the flames ripped through and through. Now I am but a pile. You wish to say I miss you. I don't understand the I miss you part. If you let me be, just could be cloud. Oh, it could be smoke wind. Or smoke cloud. How gold that returns something. I don't understand. Almost too obtuse. Just the air. And you might just see me. Push away. Go on returns. Here. Maybe. Just see. I don't know. Okay. I didn't think of it that way. So the first word is ash, but the second word should be dust. Okay. Fine. Okay. The woman stole it. No such thing as she asked to borrow it for a while and I obliged. Returning and just thinking, oh god, I don't like this conversation anymore. Just can we hurry up? Jing Yali, she sells flowers now. 1887. You don't need to care about this. I'm so sorry. Never, I'm Magistrate Direnji. I'm in the Justice Department. Oh, please forgive my impertinence, Your Excellency. I'm not accustomed to meeting court officials. There's nothing to forgive. You may forego the formalities for now. Were you looking to buy some flowers then? No, I'm afraid I have much more serious matters to ask you about. Ask me. I doubt I know anything of importance, and even if I did, I could probably can't remember it. But feel free to ask what you want. Oh, you can just show her the thing. What? Okay, so we have to make her remember. This sounds so annoying now. Like, we're trying to solve something, yet we have to do several different things in order to reach one goal in mind. And I'm like, why? Meow. That's a humongous cat. Why did I do that for? I just need the book. Maybe doing something else. A flower petal. Oh, we can see the silk merchant. Okay. Some sort of progress. A block printer. So now we have a reason to talk to Mrs. Cho. Okay, Guchuan. Sorry if I'm not reading this out loud anymore. I'm just like, there's a lot of, you know, let's talk about the important stuff. There's so much talking about something else. So it must be an apprentice of him who's the killer. Hans Sidon. It's very far out. That was... I kind of like that puzzle for how simple it was. But I feel like they made it too easy. They should have made it not too obvious. But it's alright. Oh, so these ladies are assassins. Yeah, how did you know about that? So what if we show a silk rose to the lady? Maybe that would trigger her memory. To Genia. No? That was my first thought. To just... Now I'm even more confused. Okay. So the plaque is what we're gonna show the lady? I don't know. But okay. Oh god. Now what do I do? She needs more memories? Oh. Oh, I didn't know I could grab it. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't know I could pick that up. Has the symbols. So she threw it in the river. Oh wait, can we just show her that though? Now that she remembers understanding it. Meet alone Crown Prince Red Circus. This was his message for her all along. The murderers, the notes, the handmade silk roses. It's all leading to this, the way to lure her out of the royal palace and into the open. He knew she would recognize the victims and the symbolic roses. He knew she could read women's script. And most importantly, he knows she'll do anything to cover up the dark stain in her past. That's why she can't refuse to meet him. That's why she may go alone. How foolish of me. All those clues, all those seductions. I lead her directly to him. Now with this message, he told her exactly where to find him. Actually, what advance? Are you talking about that? Okay, let's go to the Empress. That's fucking far away. Uh-oh. Commander Yao? The Renji. What happened here? Your Majesty Supera, you must save her. That madman ambushed us. You're hurt. Never mind that. The Empress is trapped inside the tomb. You have to get her out before she drowns. Tell me what happened. How's the Empress ambushed? Earlier this morning, the Empress asked me to come with her on the important mission. She would tell me anything about it, only that it needed to be kept secret. When we arrived here, the tomb entrance was open. I could sense danger, but she had to go in. I wasn't going to let her go by herself, so we entered together. As we made our way to the inner corridor, a booby trap was set off. The Empress pushed me out of the way before a large metal gate trapped her inside. That's when I saw him. He opened the water valve and ran for the exit. You mean Han Sidong? Is that his name? I told you, the Empress didn't tell me anything. I chased him down these steps when he managed to surprise me with a strike of his dagger, but the scoundrel never saw my riposte coming either. With all my strength, I thrust my sword into his ribcage. A trail of blood behind you. Follow it, Renji. I'm certain he could not have made it very far. That looks bad. It's nothing. The Empress is all that matters now. I shouldn't have let them near Majesty's phone and should protect you. You did all your best. Oh shit. How did you know it's bad? And the strange daughter. At first I did not symptoms. True, the two were abundant, the same last name, each service of the Imperial Court, and both possessing the same sharp tongue. Honestly. And I didn't see you that night, but I knew the Empress wouldn't have trusted anyone else in Evan's son's room. I wonder if that will help. Here he is, my love. Just like I promised you. It's over now, Han Sidong. I know what you've done and why you give it up very soon. You hear that, my love? The great Renji thinks he knows the truth. Tell me, detective, what do you think you know? I know you're a murderous coward. You killed Shu Linfei, Shi Wei Nian, and Yan Qiqi, and now you're attempting to kill the Empress. No more games, though. Tell me how to open the tomb doors so this matters may come to an end. A coward? Your precious Empress corrupts the souls of innocents and sends them to her bidding. You say I'm the coward? You know nothing. But you will. You will know my truth. My beloved Sun Ying will not die in vain. Sun Ying? You mean the maidservant who killed the Korean ambassador in Penglai? Oh, what? He remembers you, my love. Think hard, detective. You were there that night. Did you really believe that Sun Ying committed suicide because of that odious rat, or that she loved him? I knew something was off, that much is true, but it was just a feeling. I couldn't figure out why, but it all seemed staged. You're beginning to understand, aren't you? All you need is the willingness to look behind the curtains. Why do you think I've kept you so close all this time? I wanted to see you were fooled once, but now open your eyes to see the truth. Singing once a child. Her real name was Gong Xiaoxia. She was the very first skilled rose recruited by the concert group. Trained assassin by the fire's order, she excelled at becoming invisible. She could become anyone, make you believe anything you see now. Oh. Ambassador's choice was made to look like a love affair gone wrong, but it was in fact an assassination ordered by Concert Wu. It was all perfectly staged. First, Sun Ying introduced his staff, an easy task. She manufactured romance between her and Choi. Once he was hooked, his death could become like a crime of passion. That's it. Concert Wu knew that she could pick up the pieces of the Stone Treaty if it looked like the Korean ambassador was all at fault. Emperor was sick, she was in brink of power, securing the credit for such a marquee. She has emerged to medieval private authority. Expensive would have a sentence to see them avoid suicide. Oh, so she did kill herself. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Very interesting. Would I know what college? Oh, first plane, and now hallowed earth. Later approached by fire and sealed by water. I'll just do earth, fire, and water then. Okay. Oh no, she's trapped. didn't see that there was something I could pick up.
Oh god, okay.
No. I suppose I should thank you for saving my life, dear Renji. Then again, I seem to remember you questioning my authority twice since your arrival. Perhaps you should be the one thankful since you're still a free man. With all due respect, Your Majesty, inaction in the face of injustice is no freedom at all. What use is the mantle you've given me if I cannot perform my duty to maintain order? What do you know of order? Do you know how many times I've averted chaos from behind a cloak of obscurity? Our history is full of despicable rulers, callous men who cared for nothing but their own vanity. You really think I was the first person with power to ever wield a covert police force, or that I was the first to use fear as a weapon? We all have choices to make. I've made mine and I accept whatever consequences they may bring upon me. But do you accept responsibility for fostering the environment of hatred and secrecy that unleashed Han Zedong? You had a hand in creating the monster that he became. The path of fear and intimidation you speak of leads only to death and revolt. And what would you have me do? Sit idly while countless snakes encircle me, waiting for the chance to strike? I am but a lowly servant in the vast imperial court. I do not presume to have all the solutions. But I do know this: if we cannot hold firm to our beliefs in all times of adversity, then what meaning is there in holding them at all? I doubt I can change Your Majesty's mind. My only wish now is to bring this case to an end. I need to hear the truth from you. Very well, I'll keep my promise. You have my attention. It was you who formed the Silk Rose Assassins. Why did you do it? My husband Gao Zhong was becoming weaker with each passing day. He was deteriorating both mentally and physically. Unless I took charge, the others would have stolen away what was rightfully mine. I couldn't let that happen, whether anyone believes it or not. The throne was my destiny. So I formed the Silk Roses in order to control my own fate. Those women were like sisters to me. I chose them because they were loyal, beautiful, deadly. They were like family to me. You could never understand. Sun Ying was the first Silk Rose, wasn't she? Did you order her suicide? Sun Ying was the first and the best, but that was what made her special. She was unique. She believed in me more than anyone ever did. Sometimes I think she believed in me more than I believed in myself. The assassination of Ambassador Choi was never meant to be her last mission, but she insisted that it was the only way. She planned all of it, the setup, the timing, the ending. She even planned your involvement. My involvement? She had done her research. A young, newly appointed magistrate, eager and inexperienced, you were the perfect investigator for the case. But I suppose she underestimated you. I suppose we all did. What do you know about Han Zedong? Not nearly enough, apparently. When I first met Sun Ying, she told me about a boy from her childhood. He adored her, followed her everywhere. That boy was weak. It was no match for her strength and intelligence. It was a setback waiting to happen. That's why I asked her to cast him aside. I asked her to rid of things that would endanger the cause. I never imagined he was capable of such destruction. Why use women's script to communicate? I heard rumors of a secret language passed on from mother to daughter many years ago, but at the time I did not understand its power. I had lived a privileged life, but I imagined a world in which I was forbidden to learn how to read or write. If I was to succeed, it only seemed fitting that I use women's script to vanquish the naysayers. After all, my sisters are my allies. Thank you, Your Majesty. You spoke when you could have stayed silent. And you, dear Renji, will you repeat the story of the Silk Roses? Will you tell of my past misdeeds? Han Sejong's final wishes were for each to tell this story to the world, but this is the story for your loading. What are you saying? You're right about one thing, Your Majesty. You were not only, nor will you be the last ruler to justify the use of extreme measures. One thing now sets you apart. These four dead women will forever claim a piece of your conscience, and I believe you will honor their sacrifice. For that reason, I will not speak of the Silk Roses beyond these walls. The people deserve better. They deserve hope. The rest, Your Majesty, is up to you. Is she going to kill me? Let him pass. Majesty has work to do, just as Bartman needs him. Oh, so it's Sunny. Okay. Yeah, the music is pretty cool. It's really nice. I want you to know that I tried my best to save you and the others. Perhaps to some degree. We all have bloods on our hands. That's something I will have to live for the rest of my life. And I've come to accept that some of us aren't meant to find peace. Some of us must stand alone, on guard, ready for the next wrong to be made right, ready to shoulder the heaviest of burdens. That is my responsibility, my duty. I understand that now, and I intend to bear it with all my power. May you rest in peace, Sun Yi. Interesting. All right. Oh, this was Kickstarter. Interesting. That was interesting. Well, that's Detective D. the Silpros murders. That was interesting. Don't know what else to say other than it was interesting. Mm. All right, I won't be raiding out, but that's another game done. I'm excited to play. I might continue Axiom Verge next time, or if not, I might have something else to play. So, yeah, I have others that I want to start, so I might play those. But we'll see. But that's it for today. Thank you for everyone who said hi and who dropped by. I'll see you all next time. And have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye.